Hi Mayora, we're here to address your video request. There's Alicia and Amadeus, and we're going to be working on yielding the hind end in the groundwork to start with. So Alicia's just going to ask him to sand off around her, and then she's going to shorten up on her rope just a little bit and point her hand toward his hip and walk into his hip. And right there, he's not doing it really great right now. He's a little bit lazy. He hasn't done it in a while. But the idea is that he will step his hind end away from her while she's walking toward him, and it'd be like there's no resistance to it. It's like an invisible pole between the two of them, and Alicia's movement is mirrored by his movement away from her, if that makes sense. So she's going to ask him to go, and she's going to walk in towards his hip, and he's not really doing it too well. Where the objective is to get him to step over behind really, really deeply. So that's better. He's doing it a lot better there. But then he kind of runs his shoulder out when he doesn't want to step over behind. So what you're looking at is you're working on getting a bend through the rib cage, and we talked about this in the video where we were discussing dropping the shoulder and what happens when they drop the shoulder. So if they don't step under behind, they'll either run their shoulder out or drop their shoulder, right? So right now he's stepping under fairly nicely and quite deeply with that inside hind foot, and he's not requiring any extra effort from Alicia. He's just maintaining what she's asking him to do, and he's stepping over behind quite well. He just got a little bit lazy there, so she just waved her flag at him a little bit and he moved over a bit more. So then she's going to let him out or change directions with him. And then she's going to proceed to do the same thing on this side. And you can see it's working a lot better this time. See how much more he's stepping over behind on this side now, and the hind end is really yielding away from her. So what are the benefits of doing this exercise? The benefits of doing this exercise, where to start? Firstly, it gets them soft and supple through the body, bending through the rib cage, loosening up through the shoulders and getting the hips all loose, which massively improves your lateral flexion, because if they're not soft through their body the whole way from tip of the tail to the tip of their nose, you will not have good lateral flexion. It's the start of being able to control their hind end and their hips in regards to under saddle exercises later on for lead departures or flying lead changes or side passing or any number of exercises under saddle where you need hip control. And this is basically teaching them how to carry themselves on the ground using the muscles correctly before you put weight on their back, right? But what are the benefits of doing it on the ground? It's basically just another exercise that's going to get them worried, because you know, they have to move, they have to be respectful, they have to yield their body away from you, that you can then desensitize to bring them down again. But it's softening and suppling their whole body. If you don't do it on the ground, you're just missing a large step in regards to your groundwork and getting the horse to be fully mentally present. All of the groundwork exercises aren't specifically designed to do anything in regards to under saddle stuff, but the crossover from the groundwork to the under saddle stuff is a byproduct. The groundwork predominantly is used for teaching the mental thought process to the horse and how to respond to suggestion and be respectful of aids and personal space, but it makes a big difference once they have that understanding on the ground to be able to transfer it under saddle. So that is a little bit about yielding the hind end on the ground.